Well. Welcome to another episode of SKST Radio, and you tuned into the Grayson Show. And today is Arthur Network, and I have this famous author next to me who I've had the pleasure of interviewing before. And he's just a family member right now of SKST because he's been here. He's no stranger to SKST. Mr. Anthony Owens, welcome to the show.
Well, thank you for having me. It's good to see you again.
Absolutely. Good to see you. You look really nice.
Just something.
Just something you threw on, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what happened with these famous authors. You just throw on stuff, how it goes, Mr. Owens, tell people who you are and what you do.
I served 20 years in the Navy. I'm an award-winning author. I work for the federal government, and I go to schools and shelters and just talk to the youth about believing in themselves and choosing to not give up. So that's what I do. It's a real simple life.
Real simple life. You know it's more than that.
Yeah, with my hobbies and my family, I'm married and have grandchildren. So I still have a busy life, outside of the things that I just mentioned, but I try to stay really busy.
Yeah, you do. You winning awards and you writing books and you active in the community. You're doing so many things and you're just being shy at this point.
I'm very humble, right? I don't take anything for granted, and I'm very appreciative of everything that I work for and that I get. So
okay, so tell me, we got 3 of your books here, 3 of your novels, and I'm wondering, how did you get started writing? How does this happen?
Well, I started writing a long time ago. The first book, Syrup Sandwiches, I started that many years ago, and I kept putting it off, and I kept putting it off because what I say is I kept getting in my own way. And what I mean by getting in my own way, whenever we say that we can't do something, we're not smart enough, we don't know enough, those are things that we do that, get in our own way. And so I kept saying, I don't know how to write a book. I don't know how to write a book. And then I got to a point where I decided that there was no more procrastinating.
Because that's what it was, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. Because when I first started, I probably had maybe 5 or 6 pages, and I kept looking at those pages throughout time, and years had passed and passed. And when I got serious about writing, I took those pages and I tore them all up, and I just started typing, and
wow.
And 4 months later, I had the book. It wasn't done. Months? Well, the book itself wasn't done. The writing part was done. Getting out of my mind onto the paper, that was done. And then it went through the editing process and back and forth. That took 8 months.
Okay. That sounds about like my time for my book. It took me a while to do my first book. But so you gave us a little brisk some information on what you're about. But who are you?
I'm a byproduct of my mom. Well, obviously my mom and father, but I was raised by a single mother. So my mother and we were born in Georgia, and then we wound up moving to New York. When I was 2 years old, we moved to New York. But my mother was young; she was 19 years old. My brother, he was just a baby at the time, and she didn't know a whole lot, right? Because she had lived in the South, and then moving to a big city like New York, it'll envelop you, right? And so we struggled because we didn't have no father. My father wasn't there. My brother's father wasn't there, and so we had difficult times just making it because we didn't have a lot of stuff, and it was challenging. It was really I started working at 8 years old so that I could help my mother pay some bills, get some groceries and things like that, because I had to. I was the oldest in the house, so I had to step it up.
Wow. So, I mean, what he's describing is in Syrup Sandwich, if you want to get more details. But at the end of the day, he had a mother that really, really cared about her children, and she did a lot of work. She did a lot of work to get him where he is today. And so how was that journey?
It was challenging because I was in an environment where all the men that were there, including her father, which was my grandfather, and uncles and things of that sort, all of them were abusive. And so at a young age, watching all of this abuse, it would be terrible for most people. But for me, I saw that as a way of the person that I did not want to be. I never wanted to be the way that they were because I despised the way that they were. And the difficult part about seeing that was not being able to talk to someone, not being able to get any advice, not any guidance or structure or anything, because all I saw was basically chaos,
Right.
But I had a God-fearing mother. My mother loved the Lord, right? And she, to this day, and we stayed in church, and I believe that had a lot to do with me not getting into trouble and eventually turning out, like I am.
Yeah. So, I mean, you had siblings, right?
Yeah, I have a brother who's 2 years younger than I am, and then my sister, she's like 9 years younger. Um, but my sister's father, he was abusive and actually in the house with us. I mean, he was over a lot. He didn't actually live with us, but witnessing that and even going to school and being bullied, right? So I had to deal
Oh,
with,
wow.
yeah.
Yeah.
And my situation was not much different than a lot of other people, right? But I wanted to write about it because I knew that I couldn't have been the only one going through it.
Right.
And so many people have told me that my book reminds them of their life.
Yeah.
And it's just so relatable because people can relate to the things that I've gone through.
Okay, so you went through all this pain and all these things going on. You saw that it can be a light at the end of the tunnel. And so then you decided to write the book. So I know this, your background inspired you to write the book, but really what got you to sit down and say, hey, my life, I need to write this book because my life is something I need to share with the world?
I think the pandemic did it.
Okay.
Because during the pandemic, there were so many people who had lost loved ones. They were turned upside down emotionally, financially, just all types of ways, all types of trauma, just terrible things. And a lot of people were giving up, right? They were, unaliving themselves, and they were, just doing terrible, horrific things to themselves and others.
Right.
And I wanted people to know that as bad as the situation is, if you believe in your God, if you believe in yourself and you choose not to give up, you can still make it. You really can. I believe those three things right there, those to me, those are the three most powerful things because, obviously you believe in your God, you believe in yourself and you choose not to give up. How can you fail when you got those three things?
Right, right. But see, some people, they don't see what you see. They don't see what you have. But by you writing this book, I think the people that you mentioned, oh, this is my life. I see my life in these books. I think you gave them inspiration and I mean, that has to make you feel good.
It actually does. And just reading the reviews of so many people that don't know me, and that is motivating. And it's people that, what it's also doing is people who haven't gone through what I've gone through, it's opening up their eyes and they're developing a level of empathy because they see how challenging things that I've gone through and things that people are still going through today, the impact that it has on them.
Right, right. So we've been focusing on Serb Sandwich because I know this book. But tell me about these other two that you brought along with you.
Let's start with Reasons.
Okay, Reasons. Okay, guys, you can't really see Reasons because it's green in our green screen. However, here's the back of it. And how can people get this book?
All of my books are available on Amazon, Barnes and Noble. They're all available, all formats, including Audible, so you can actually listen to them. And it was important for me to get all of my books on Audible because I know that we all have busy lives. And sometimes people just don't have time to sit down and read a book. But Audible allows them to go to the gym, work out, do whatever they want to do and still listen to the book. And it's really doing well with people who just don't have the time.
Right. So let's tell us about Reason.
So the back of it, if you read the back, it's interesting. So basically, Reasons is about a man who is married. His wife is brutally unalived, and he has a child. And so when his wife is unalived for a couple of years or whatever, a lady comes back and says, "Hey, I got some information about what happened," and so now he's trying to figure out what's going on. Come to find out that his wife may have had an affair on him, and the kid may not be his.
Oh wow!
And the person that she was having an affair with, he was a retired cop, used to be a police officer. So a lot of stuff is really murky because they cover up a lot of stuff sometimes. And so it's a suspense thriller, love story. It's a number of different things. And just listening to some of the reviews and just talking to some people, they really enjoy it because it's not predictable. It's not like a lot of movies that you see where
Mhm.
you know what's going to happen next and things of that sort.
Right.
So, and that's what I wanted to do. And the reason why I even wrote it is because I wanted to challenge myself. I wanted to try to do something different because I'm so used to dealing with factual stuff. Serve
Mhm.
sandwiches is all facts.
Exactly.
All about my life,
That was exactly what I was going to ask you. How did you get to this?
I wanted I didn't want to just be a one trick pony, if you know what I mean. I
Mhm.
wanted to challenge myself to see if I had that creativity in me to just do something different.
Right.
And so it was a personal thing for myself because I wanted to just see if I could do it. And I did it. And so once again, if you put your mind to it, you really can, there's a number of things that you can accomplish. And so that was one of those things that I just wanted to do, and I did it. And I might do a part 2 to it.
So, okay. So this is the one that I got to get next. Then.
Yes, no doubt.
No
doubt. It has some SCX in it, and it's for grown folks and stuff. But I wanted to. So this one, Serve Sandwiches, anyone can read it, right?
Right.
I mean, people have gotten it and read it to their grandchildren and things of that sort. But Reason is more for an adult because of the stuff that I talk about. But it's not like, so graphic. It's a really good read. I think you'll enjoy it.
Okay. I'm looking forward to this. And now we have one more book I want to bring to the forefront before the break. Fatherhood Matters. Tell us a little bit about that.
Wow. So that's another book that's near and dear to my heart because not having a father when I was growing up, I used to wonder, did my father love me? Was he not there because of me? Why didn't he reach out to me? Why was he not there? And so those are things that a lot of children, when one of their parents are not there, have to deal with. And the child shouldn't have to go through those things, right? Through those thoughts and those things that, that's probably they think about a lot. And my brother and I, we used to talk about it from time to time. And so I wanted to write about Fatherhood Matters because I wanted it to be a call to action for men, to let them know that we as men, we have to be active. We have to be present and engaged in our children's lives. And when we're not doing those things, it makes a huge difference.
Right.
Just because a father's in the home, that doesn't mean he's active and present. I mean, he might be present just because you see him.
Yeah.
But not active. He's not doing anything.
Absolutely.
He's not developing. He's not encouraging. He's not motivating. He's not doing any of the things that he should be doing as a father. And I want men to know that it makes a big difference because these children, daughters and sons need their fathers.
Well, let me ask you this, and this is just a Cami question. Now, when a parent is not in the household, why do you think that child think it's about them? Is it because that other parent didn't instill that you are still your person, you still can be the person who you need to be without that person? Why does a person take on that burden of that other parent not being there?
Because there's a level of loneliness. There's a level of missing something, right? You have one parent there, and you would like to have the other parent there because maybe there's other people that you go to school with or that you see that have both their parents, and you always wonder, what is that like? How does that feel? What does it look like? And so it's hard not to say, it bothers me. It's hard to say I'm not going to think about it because you do, right? And when the things that my brother and I was going through, we were going through so many different tragic events. Oftentimes we didn't think about it a lot because we had to prepare for the next upside down event, right? So, but that's a really good question.
Well, only because you had younger siblings, and so you and your brother shared that. Your sister's dad was somewhat around, right?
Yeah.
And so she doesn't feel the same way you guys feel. Because
her father was there, even though he was a bum, not a bum, but a bum, yeah.
Okay.
And he was abusive. So anytime you're abusive, you're a bum. I don't care. But so, and just I don't really know how she feels because I haven't been able to talk to her on that level. Same thing with my brother. So, everybody has a different emotional intelligence level, right? Some people have it, some people don't.
Right.
And so, I really can't tell you what she thinks or how she feels, but she might have felt like, at least my father's around.
Okay. Well, guys, we're going to take a quick break and we'll be back after these messages.
fam.
Hi, if you just tuned in, you haven't tuned in too late. You tuned into the Cami Grayson Show, and I am sitting here with this very articulate writer. He goes by the name of Anthony Owens, and we're just learning about his books and things that he's done. And so he's also had some accomplishments that he don't really want to talk about, but we're going to drag it out of him, you know. So let's talk about your Serb Sandwich Award.
So, Serb Sandwiches was awarded the Eric Hoffa Award. It was awarded the Next Generation Indie Award winner
Okay.
in the memoir category for BIPOC, which is Black, Indigenous, and People of Color.
Okay.
Serb Sandwiches came in first place. It recently won another award with the 2024 International Impact Book Awards, and that it won in 3 categories. It won in life experiences, the memoir category, and the motivational category.
Wow.
Yeah, and recently I was honored at the Black Men 2024 Black Men Rock Image Awards.
Okay.
As the author
Now,
of the
which
year.
one is that?
For the Serb Sandwiches, the one on the right hand, the one on the right hand is for the Image Award, for the Black Man Rock Image Award on the right hand side, and the one on the left is the one for the International Impact Book Awards. And both of those awards, like the one on the right, the Black Man Rock, that one is heavy. The base is marble; it's like 4.5 pounds.
Woo.
And the other one is glass, and that's like 6.5 pounds. So this is not like some cheap stuff. It really is
that
great
you
award.
get from the award thing. This is real stuff.
This is real stuff. Yeah. And so, and speaking of awards, Father Matters, my most recent book, has won an award as well.
Okay.
And also from the 2024 International Impact Book Awards, and it won in the category called Family.
Wow.
Yeah, and that's fitting too, because I talk about all of the different dynamics of parents and fatherhood and just even from different races and all. So it's very inclusive. So it's not just like one race, So it talks about the roles that men play and all these different ethnic groups and all this stuff. So it's pretty broad, but it's.
Well, first of all, I want to applaud you.
Oh, thank you so much.
If I had my hat on, I would be taking my hat off to you. But I want to applaud you because, you're out there, you're doing it. You're moving, you're shaking, and you're about making a change. And so thank you so much for bringing us these stories and these books. And I know you're just getting started. I know you're just right at the edge, just getting started. So.
But no, really, Cammy, I said that I wasn't going to do any more books after Fatherhood Matters.
You said.
Well, I said that, right? And then when people started asking me about, the reasons, part 2 to it, I started, hemming and hawing. And I was like, maybe. And then I'm at the point now where I think I'm going to just go to do a part 2, but I'm going to give it a little time.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Don't stop. I mean, whatever the muse hit you, whatever God lays on your heart to do, don't hold it back.
So, well, thank you. And let me point out something that's not here. I've written a children's book. It's about bullying because I experienced bullying myself.
Yes.
Right? It's called Raw Power. And so after I wrote that book, I wanted to do something a little bit different because I always try to think outside the box. I took Raw Power and I took out all the graphics, all the colors in it, and I made it a coloring book and added some more pages in the back for the children to color. So the story is still there, but now the children can color and everything. So there's a coloring book for Raw Power as well.
Raw Power. I love it.
And then for Serb Sandwiches, I did a workbook.
Okay.
For the students and just people in general. And what the workbook does, it allows them to read, like maybe for every chapter, maybe 2 paragraphs, and then there's 10 multiple choice questions, and then an area for them to fill in their thoughts and their ideas. So it's like it's a workbook. So it's a work study.
So what has your feedback been on the workbook?
Oh, people love it because it gives them opportunity to because a lot of times when you read these different chapters and the things that's in the book, you have your own ideas, your own thoughts about it. Like, what did I do when this happened to me, right? Because like I said, it's so relatable. What would I have done if it happened to me, right? So different scenarios that play through people's minds when they read the different chapters of the book.
Wow. So, okay. So we know we're going to get a sequel to Reasons. And
we're going to do I'm working on a workbook for Fatherhood Matters as well.
okay. So so after these two, what are you doing? A total different project? Are you working on got something in the works for that? Or
Well, yeah, I would like to. I'm working on a movie script.
see, I knew it. See, I knew it. Tell us about the movie script. Come on.
Well, I have the pitch deck. I have all the stuff that I need. I want to get it to a point where I can just start push it to the different agencies and see who will bite. One thing about writing a book, most people would like to go through the big box agencies, the literary agents, but that's really a tall task because a lot of times you got to know someone. It's really tough. And so I initially, when I first started with Serve Sandwiches, I submitted all my queries and proposals, all these different things that they ask for you to submit to them. They'll look at that and they'll make the determination of if they want to read the book or see your manuscript. And they kept saying no to me, no, thank you. And their quote is, it's not a good fit. This is what they always say, it's not a good fit. That's a catch-all, right? And I got tired of that, so I just did my self-publishing. So all of my books are self-published. I have a video trailer for every book, including the children's book.
Okay.
I put all the marketing, everything. I've just been doing it
on your own.
On my own.
So how would a person go about writing a book? What is the process? Can you walk us through that?
Well, yes, I can. Having gone through what I've gone through, first of all, don't get in your own way. And what I mean by that, don't tell yourself that you can't do it, that you don't know how to write a book, so I'm not going to do it. I don't know how to write a book. That's what they say. As a writer, your biggest thing that you have to do is get it from up here to here, to the keyboard, to the paper, wherever you're going to put it.
Right.
Because that's the biggest part. Every chance that you get, no matter how small, if it's just one page, one sentence, one paragraph, put it down, write it, and then just come back. So fortunately for me, I've never had writer's block. Because
I was just thinking that. What do you do when you have writer's block?
You stop and you get your butt up and you continue doing, and then thoughts will come to you. And then when you get the opportunity, go back and do it again. Not everybody's going to be able to sit there and just keep going.
Right.
Because that's sometimes
the muse doesn't hit that way sometimes.
Right, it doesn't. So my biggest thing to people who are interested or remotely interested in writing a book is to get the thoughts out of your head and write them down. Once you do that, you'll see that at the period of time, you got all these different pages, all this stuff together. And then that's where the process started, because your editors will hopefully move things around, content development, just different stuff where you can move the paragraphs, move the wording. That's all the editing process. Once that's done, then now you pretty much got the book. Now you just got to get it published.
Wow. Okay, so I don't want you to leave today without people knowing how to get in contact with you.
Well, the easiest way, instead of going straight to Amazon and looking for all of the books, I tell people just go to my website, www.ant My name is Anthony Owens, so I tried to make the site as easy as possible. www.antowens.com. And once you go there, you'll see a link that says books. You'll click on it. All of my works will be there. You'll read about each of them. And at the very bottom, the link will take you straight to Amazon. You can purchase anything that you like.
I absolutely love it. So inspiration. You are such an inspiration.
Well, thank you for saying that.
Absolutely.
I'm definitely trying to, my goal is to try to help people help themselves. Right. And I wholeheartedly believe that if you believe enough in yourself, you'll make some changes and you'll do the things that's going to be right for you and your family.
Right. Absolutely. So I'm excited, guys. I have one book that I got to purchase so I can catch up, because he got 3 books here and I'm behind 2 books. So I got to catch up. So, but it's exciting to have you here again. Like I said, SKST is your spot. And so, if you ever need us, we're right here.
Well, I look forward to coming back again. I enjoy coming here. I enjoy the fact that, the hospitality is excellent. And thank you for having me. It really is a treat.
Absolutely. So we want to thank everyone here at SKST Radio, our engineer and the people that make this possible. And we want to wish you all a happy and safe holiday season.
Happy holidays, everyone.
Bye for now, guys.
Bye-bye.